Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasatyadeshatari Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasatyadeshatari
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
संकीर्तन की जय, शिल प्रपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरी हरी बोल। Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone to our Friday evening Bhakti Vriksha program. I'm very grateful to Radha Mohan Prabhu and Archana Mataji for hosting today's program. I think when we posted the dates for this month every Friday, who is willing to host the programs, they were the first one to pick the program for the month of January to host. So thank you very much, Prabhu and Mataji. And thank you everyone for joining. So couple of things before we start actually. First thing is some of you may have seen the posts around on some social media, on our WhatsApp group or all. Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he is not feeling well. He is in hospital in Delhi, and I think tomorrow is angiography planned. Okay, so tomorrow afternoon in India time, Delhi. So devotees all around the globe are praying for the good health of Maharaj, and tomorrow morning we are dedicating morning Japa program. So not just our Bhakti Vriksha group Japa call, but we are trying to have all overall Michigan devotees join together for the morning Japa program 5 o'clock onwards. So whoever regularly joins, so please join, and others also who don't generally join, so you can join tomorrow morning for the Japa program. We'll share the Zoom meeting detail, which generally we have on every day anyways. So please pray for Maharaj, keep him in your prayers for his good health, so we can continue to get his blessings and his association and his guidance. So today we will continue with our Srimad Bhagavatam study. Last week we talked about Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 20th chapter. 20th chapter is in one sense recap of what previously has been discussed in 2nd canto and the earlier part of 3rd canto. As a process of creation, how Lord creates, the primary creation and then secondary creation by Brahma. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudhiray Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishriki. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarini Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine नमो महावेदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरहर्षे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तवतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, so the today's topic is Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 21, which is entitled Talks Between Manu and Kardama Muni. Okay, so, but actually, the overall content of this chapter is Vidura continues to inquire from Maitreya after Savambhu Manu is born. How did Manu create progeny? How did Manu fill the world with population? So, first set of verses are Vidura's inquiries from Maitreya. Then Maitreya starts describing about Kardama Muni. Who is Kardama Muni? Kardama Muni is also son of Brahma. Brahma in the beginning created 10 sages. Right? He brought forward 10 sages and Kardama Muni is one of them. Kardama Muni performed austerities to please the Lord. An overall intention of Kardama Muni to perform these austerities are because he want to get a suitable girl for marry, to help Brahma in his task. Because Brahma assigned the task to further all these sages and Manu itself to create progeny. So Kardama Muni, he is performing austerities. So then Lord appears in front of him. Kardama Muni, he offer his prayers to the Lord. So we'll hear how Kardama Muni offered these prayers, how the prayers should be offered. And then Kardama Muni finally asked that I am looking for a girl of equal disposition to marry, a suitable girl. And then Lord blesses him, and then Lord tell Manu will come and he will offer his daughter to you to marry. So that is the overall flow. So it's a Kardama Muni's austerities, then talks between Kardama Muni and Lord Vishnu. Then Savambhu Manu comes there, and then talk between Kardama Muni and Savambhu Manu. So that is the overall chapter. So the content is actually Kardama Muni desires to marry a suitable girl. So that is the overall intention, overall content. So starts with Vidura's inquiries from Maitreya. So Vidura asks, the line of Savambhu Manu was most esteemed. Please give me an account of his dynasty, whose progeny multiplied through procreation. So Vidura is asking how Savambhu Manu generated progeny and his descendants were very glorious. And then Savambhu Manu had 2 sons and 3 daughters. Remember the names of 2 sons and 3 daughters of Savambhu Manu?
One daughter named Kapila.
Daughter's name, Kapila?
Uttanapad and Priyavrata.
Uttanapad and Priyavrata. So these are the two sons of Swambhu Manu. We should try to remember these histories, these details. Okay, Swambhu Manu's two sons, Uttanapad and Priyavrata. Uttanapad is very famous. Why? Because of Dhruva. Right? We know Dhruva Maharaj, the small boy Dhruva, who saw Lord face to face. So Dhruva is son of Uttanapad. Okay, so Swambhu Manu had two sons, Uttanapad and Priyavrata, and three daughters, Devahuti, others?
Akuti and Prasuti.
Akuti and Prasuti. Very good. So remember these five children of Swambhu Manu. Okay, again, Uttanapad, Priyavrata, Devahuti, Akuti, Prasuti. So, Vidura asks, so you have spoken of his daughter Devahuti as the wife of sage Kardama. How many children that yogi Kardama begot through this princess Devahuti, who was endowed with the eightfold perfections and yoga principles? So now who is endowed with the eightfold perfections of yoga practice? Whom is Vidura talking about? Actually both. So Kardama Muni is perfected in the eightfold yoga practices, and Devahuti is also of equal dispositions. She is also endowed with these eightfold perfections of yoga system. What are these eightfold perfections of yoga? The 8 limbs of yoga. No. 8 folds of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. So when we say 8 folds limbs of yoga means Ashtanga yoga. What are the Ashtanga yoga system? 8 limbs of Ashtanga yoga.
Pranayama, Pratyahara.
Okay, Pranayam, Pratyahara will come later. First two. Yama, Niyam. Okay, so first is Yama, Niyam, and Pranayam, Pratyahara, Asan, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi. Okay, so these are the 8 limbs of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, which we call as Ashtanga yoga. So Kardama Muni is perfected in this eightfold yoga system, and Devahuti is also of equal disposition. She is also perfected and endowed with this eightfold yoga system. So Vidura is asking that you have spoken about earlier Devahuti, who was married to Kardama. So how many children they had? And then tell me the other two daughters are Akuti and Prasuti. So they were married to sage Ruchi and Daksha. Okay, so Brahma had generated another two children's, not other two children, many sages. Among them was Ruchi. So Ruchi was married to another daughter of Swambhu Manu, Akuti, and Daksha is married to Prasuti. So how they generated progeny. Now here Vidura is not interested in how people are engaging in the process of procreation and producing children. That is not the intention of Vidura, because in the whole world people are producing children. But Vidura is interested in knowing about these great personalities. And why specifically he is talking about Devahuti and Kardama? Because they had a great son, Kapila Dev, who is incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So he want to hear about Kapila Dev, that Devahuti and Kardama had a Supreme Personality of Godhead himself appear in their house as their son, Kapila Dev, and he want to hear about his pastime, his glories, his teachings. Because Kapila Dev gave many teachings. He gave teachings to his own mother Devahuti later on in the process of devotional service. So that's what Vidura want to hear. It's not his intention of how in the world people are producing children. Everybody is engaged in this process of generating children. But he is interested in knowing how these great personalities appeared and what kind of activities they performed. So next part is now Maitreya start talking about the pastimes of Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni performed austerities for 10,000 years to please the Supreme Lord. Okay, so the great sage Maitreya replied, commanded by Lord Brahma to beget children in the world, the worshipful Kardama Muni practiced penances on the bank of river Saraswati for a period of 10,000 years. So the ashram of Kardama Muni is known by the name Bindu Sarovar. Okay, so it's also a very famous holy place in one sense, Bindu Sarovar. So Kardama Muni was residing there and he performed austerities for 10,000 years. Now when we hear this, that he performed austerities for 10,000 years, we are not able to relate with that. Right? We think how somebody can perform austerities for such a long period of time. So to understand that, we have to understand the duration of 4 yugas and the life duration in these 4 yugas. So in Satya Yuga, the life duration of a living and of human being is 100,000 years. 1,00,000 saal. That is the life duration of person. So if you were living in Satya Yuga, you could live 100,000 years. And passage of each yuga, the life decreases by factor of 10. So in Satya Yuga, duration of life is 100,000 years. Comes Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, the life duration of human being is 10,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, the life duration of human being is 1,000 years. And then in Kali Yuga, the life duration of a human being is 100 years. Okay, so that's how in Satya Yuga. So Kapila Muni, we are talking about the time of Satya Yuga, not Satya Yuga of this 4 cycles of Yuga, which where we are right now. This is Satya Yuga, like a very old time, one of the first Satya Yuga in the day of Brahma, in this current day of Brahma. Okay, so at that time Kardama Muni, he is in Satya Yuga, so he performed 10,000 years austerity. So for us, his 10,000 years is how much? 10,000 years. For us, it's like 1 year. Right? From Kali Yuga standard point of view, it's like 1 year. So he performed austerities for 10,000 years that time. Now, how he performed austerity, why he performed austerity? So duration is clear, right? Now you understand the duration, 10,000 years, how much is that? Now, why he performed austerity? His purpose was to beget children on the command of Brahma, to fill the world with progeny. For that he wanted to find a suitable wife. So generally people say when a husband and wife are there, they want to have a son or they want to have a child. Basically that's a process of procreation. But Kardama Muni performed austerities not just to beget a child, but to beget a qualified child. Sometimes people make a mockery of this process. When a husband and wife, when boy and girl marry, earlier times, even up to 100 years early, now also, they will be told by their elderly in the family or by the guru, by the sages, that you should perform austerity, you should perform some vrata before you give birth to child. And people will make, if it was today in current time, people will make fun of that. Oh, for begetting a child you need to unite, right? How by staying separate, how by performing austerity you will beget a child. But they don't understand, it's not about just begetting a child, it's first to prepare the consciousness to beget a qualified child, right? To attract a qualified soul to enter into that womb. So that is the purpose of austerity. So Kardama Muni first of all is performing austerity to find a qualified girl of equal disposition and then to beget qualified children. Now what type of austerity he performed? What is the austerity? What we call as austerity? Tapasya. But what is tapasya for us?
For us it is harana.
For us, getting up early in the morning, Brahma Muhurat, taking bath and doing japa, that itself is a big tapasya. Following the 4 regulative principle, no meat eating, no illicit relation, no gambling, no intoxication. Following these 4 regulative principle, that's a tapasya, that's austerity. For us to sit in the class for 1 hour and not look at our phone, that's a tapasya. Right? Because every time mentality is so deep rooted now, every 5 minutes we will pick up the phone and look at the phone. Arey, koi message to nahi aaya. So, to put our phones aside, to give up, maybe do a vrata from social media for 1 day, that's a big tapasya. And no WhatsApp for a couple of hours, no Facebook checking, no Twitter and all that. So, not going to the social media for a few hours, 1 day, that's a big austerity. So following these 4 regulative principles first of all, and as a sadhaka to get up early in the morning, Brahma Muhurat, take bath, engage in the japa, in the chanting, that's tapasya. So if we can do that austerity, that's the best thing. And then at the most, following the Ekadashi Vrata, observing the fasting on Ekadashi days, that's recommended austerity. So in Bhagavad Gita, actually Lord Krishna speak about austerity in chapter 17. In chapter 17, Krishna talk about many things in division in 3 faiths or in 3 modes. In the mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. So Lord Krishna talk about austerity also in these 3 modes. Because tapasya can be also performed in mode of goodness, it can be performed in mode of passion, it can be performed in mode of ignorance. And first of all, what is tapasya? So Krishna speak about austerity of body, austerity of mind, and austerity of speech. What is austerity of body?
Cleanliness.
Austerity of body is cleanliness. So here, write down these Bhagavad Gita verses. Okay, so you should go and read these verses. Chapter 17, text 14, 15, 16. Here Krishna is speaking about the austerity of body, austerity of mind, and austerity of speech. These 3 verses. And the next 3 verses, 17, 18, 19, Lord Krishna speak about the austerity in 3 modes. These 3 type of austerity, austerity of body, mind and speech, can be done in goodness, passion and ignorance. Okay? So these 6 verses. So you should read these 6 verses very carefully and we should try to implement these teachings in our life. So here, Krishna says, Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Shocham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsapcha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. So what is the austerity of body? Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Sharir means body. So what is the austerity of the body? Austerity of the body consists in worshipping of the Supreme Lord, Deva, Dvija, worshipping the Brahmanas. Dvija means Brahmanas, Deva means the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord, Brahmanas, Guru, and then Pragya means our elderly, like our parents in the family. So respecting, worshipping these, that is austerity of body. Then Shocham, as Rajendra Prabhu said, cleanliness. So maintaining the cleanliness of the body. So taking shower in the morning, so that is cleanliness. Not just piss, deodorant and bath is done. So not like that. Okay, so regular cleanliness of the body, maintaining that hygiene. Then Arjavam. Arjavam means simplicity. Maintaining a simple life. As we say, simple living and high thinking. Right? So not trying to decorate the body, try to have fancy clothes and all. Stay a simple life. Maintain a simple life. Brahmacharya, celibacy. And then ahimsa, non-violence. Now celibacy, what does celibacy really mean? Does it mean the austerity of the body, celibacy. Even in the grastha life, one can live the life of celibacy. Okay, because it's considered somebody living a regulated family life, regulated grastha life, that's also like celibacy. So maintaining these standards, that is the austerity of body. And then austerity of mind. What is austerity of mind? Krishna says, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanamayam tapa uchyate. So first, this is austerity of speech. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanamayam tapa uchyate. Vanamayam of the vani, speech. What is the austerity of speech? Austerity of speech consists in speaking the words that are truthful. Satyam. Priyahitam, which is pleasing to somebody. Which is priyahitam, pleasing and beneficial. And not agitating to others. And yet not agitating to others. It means we want to speak the truth, but in a pleasing way. Not in a way which could be agitating to somebody, like yelling at somebody or criticizing somebody. Or you don't want to speak the lie just to please somebody. Right? Both has to be there. It is truth also, it is beneficial also, yet not agitating to somebody. And then also the regular reciting of the Vedic mantras. Swadhyaya abhyasanam. So regular recitation of the Vedic scriptures, of the mantras, right, of the shlokas, like reciting the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, reciting the shlokas of Bhagavatam. That is also austerity of speech. So engaging our tongue in that way. Speaking truth, pleasing to somebody, beneficial to somebody, and reciting the shlokas. And then austerity of mind. Manah prasada saumyatvam Maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhir iti etat tapah manasam uchyate. Manah prasada saumyatvam. Soumya Mataji's name is here. Saumyatvam. What is the name of that word? Soumya?
Polite.
Polite. Soumya, actually, the meaning of Saumyatvam is simplicity. Okay, so Saumyatvam, Maunam, Atma Vinigraha. So satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. So austerity of mind in one sense is having satisfaction, right? Not too much hankering for something or lamentation about something. So being satisfied, that is austerity of mind. Having that simplicity, not having that duplicity. Simplicity means not having the duplicity. Duplicity is you show something else, but inside you are something else. Right? That is duplicity. So opposite to that is simplicity, means you are very straightforward. And then gravity means maunam, not speaking unnecessary. That is the purpose, that is the meaning of maunam. Maunam doesn't mean not speaking at all. Like we see some Mauni Baba, right? They put a cloth on their mouth that we are not going to speak. We have taken a vow of not speaking at all. But then we will write on the slate and communicate our thoughts like that. That is like speaking only. So maunam means when your mind is peaceful. There is not unnecessary thoughts coming in mind and you are not unnecessarily speaking. Speaking about Krishna only. That is also maunam. You are not unnecessarily speaking of other mundane things, just speaking about the glorification of the Lord. So maunam doesn't mean, oh, I am going to do fasting, no speaking, so I am not going to do chanting also. I cannot speak. I have taken a vow of not speaking. So I'm not going to chant. That is not the purpose of manam. So manam means not speaking unnecessary worldly things, mundane things, just speaking about the Lord. So that is the austerity of mind. Okay, so austerity of body, mind, speech. So these are the three type of austerity. So for us, just following this four regulative principle, early waking up, chanting the holy name, that's a big austerity if we can follow those standards. Sometimes people, and then before I move on that, now austerity in three modes. Let's talk about that also. Austerity in passion, goodness and ignorance. So Krishna is saying these three type of austerity. Austerity of body, mind and speech can be performed in goodness, passion and ignorance. Goodness means performed with transcendental faith, not expecting any material benefit, just to please the Supreme Lord, for the purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord, not for some material benefit, with full faith in the Lord. That is in goodness. Clear? So purpose of chanting, purpose of doing Ekadashi Vrata, purpose of doing any other Vrata, simply to please the Lord, not for some gain. There are so many bhajans, people will do some worship or they will do some vrata. At the end, what they want? मैया मुरादें पूरी कर दे हलवा बांटूंगी. पहले मेरी मुराद पूरी करो. First fulfill my desires. Right? So that is not in goodness. That comes in second category. So Krishna says that is second one is austerity performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, for the sake of getting some material benefit. Those are austerities in the mode of passion. Okay, so gaining some honor. देखो मैं कितना बड़ा योगी हूँ, कितना बड़ा तपस्वी हूँ. I am doing so much austerity. I am doing Nirjala fasting. See how great I am. So if somebody have those type of mentality, those type of intentions, that is in the mode of passion. Sometimes some politicians, right, they will do some fasting, anshan, for some other political agenda or to fulfill their demands. That is in mode of passion. So austerity in goodness, passion. Now in ignorance. What is austerity in ignorance? By torturing your own body. Austerity is performed against the instructions of scriptures. Not mentioned in scripture, but just whimsically by your own concoction, performing certain type of austerity by torturing your own body. That is in the mode of ignorance. For example, there are so many demoniac people mentioned in scripture who performed austerities to get some boon from the Lord, to kind of twist the arm of the Lord, give me this benediction, otherwise I will continue torturing myself. Any examples? Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu performed austerity for 1000 years. He was standing on one leg, arms raised up, by putting fire all around him, sometimes standing in the water in the cold season, for getting power, right? Getting some boon from the Lord, which will make him the most powerful person. So gaining some power by torturing your own body for some selfish agenda to trouble others, that is austerity in mode of ignorance. Like Ravana also performed austerity. He will cut his head and throw in fire, right? मैं भगवान को अपना सिर आहुति में भेंट कर रहा हूँ. Did Lord ask that kind of austerity कि अपना cut your body part and throw it in the oblations? So that type of austerity, by troubling yourself, by torturing your own body to gain some power so that you can further trouble others. That is in the mode of ignorance. Now, sometimes devotees ask question that when we go to the holy places, right? Let's say people go to Vrindavan and they do Braj Parikarma, Govardhan Parikarma, barefoot, or some people do Dandavati Parikarma. You know what is Dandavati Parikarma?
It's ashram.
Pay a Dandavat and then get up and then wear your first Dandavat ended, then pay again Dandavat, and so keep paying Dandavat like that, and that keep doing Parikarma like that. So Dandavati Parikarma, when we went to Vrindavan, I asked somebody how long it take to perform this Dandavati Parikarma. It's like 8 days. So if somebody continuously doing, it will take 8 days to do Govardhan Parikarma as a Dandavati Parikarma. Otherwise, if you are just doing on foot also, it will take 8 hours. Regular by foot Parikarma. But Dandavati Parikarma, 8 days. So somebody asked, is that really kind of recommended that one should perform that type of austerity? So again, what is the intention behind that? Is intention to gain some pride, some honor, some glorification, some material benefit, or is it for the satisfaction of the Lord? It is to please the Lord. So one can perform austerity voluntarily. One can perform the austerity. There is no problem with that. Austerity means voluntary, right? Not by force. Somebody is not forced by somebody. You are voluntarily giving up some comforts and performing that austerity to please the Lord. But out of foolishness, if we do some things, once you did, one time you did, and then 10 days you are lying on your bed. Once Prabhupada was walking, right, in the winter season in America, like when there is snow or cold, so Prabhupada is walking. Prabhupada used to go on walk, morning walk. So one devotee came running and he was not wearing shoes. He was barefoot. In that snow, he was running, and Prabhupada asked, why you are not wearing shoes? He said, Prabhupada, I am performing austerity. And Prabhupada said, then cut off your neck also. So what is this foolishness that you are thinking I am performing austerity? This is foolishness. It's not needed, it's not recommended, because now you are running like this on barefoot on this cold floor, on snow also. Then you will lay on the bed 10 days. You will get sick and all. You will not be able to do your service also. What is the use of that kind of austerity? So austerity means perform in a way you can continue your service to the Lord. Not that, okay, one day little bit I did something and then 15 days I cannot do anything. So austerity in mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. And austerity of body, mind and speech. Okay, will you remember that? Okay, so now, what is this goodness, passion and ignorance? Anybody knows? Yes, so Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. What are the symptoms? How we check, are we in goodness, passion or ignorance? Goodness means we are attracted towards gaining knowledge, you are attracted towards nature, you are attracted towards peaceful scenarios, cleanliness. That is the sign of goodness. So you get up in the morning, make your bed, that is the start of goodness. If the bed is just lying like that, everything messed up all day, so you wake up in the morning, bed doesn't made, and in the night again you get in the same bed. That is ignorance. That's not goodness. So goodness, starting of goodness is in the morning you make your bed first of all. Your surroundings are clean. So that is goodness. You are attracted towards nature, the peaceful environment. Passion is, again, you have so much desire to gain name, fame, wealth, prestige. People want to gain trophies, people want to gain medals, different degrees. That is passion. And then ignorance, completely oblivious to everything. I don't care about anything. right? There is all mess all around us. That is ignorance. Intoxication. So goodness, passion, ignorance. So we need to come to the mode of goodness and actually go beyond goodness to Shuddha Sattva. Not just Sattva, Sattva Guna, but Shuddha Sattva. So in the morning, getting up in the morning, chanting the holy name, that's what you are getting towards Shuddha Sattva. Right? Coming to the stage of Shuddha Sattva. Pure goodness. So coming to our topic here now, Kardama Muni performed austerities for how long? 10,000 years. And as he is performing austerity, during this period of austerities, penances, Kardama Muni worshipped the Supreme Lord through devotional service in trance. So he was performing meditation, dhyana. But not just regular dhyan on what? Right? He is not performing dhyana, meditation on some random object, like a dot on the wall, or just look at the dot on the wall, just focus on that, or look at the flame of the candle or something. So people do dhyana in many different ways, right? People say, oh, just focus on this dot, remove all thoughts from your mind, or just look at the flame. So people do dhyana in many different ways, but what is the purpose of dhyana? Purpose of dhyana is not to free the mind from any thoughts. Here Kardama Muni, he also performed austerity. He was sitting in meditation. In meditation, he is serving the Supreme Lord in devotional service in his dhyana. He is meditating on the Supreme Lord. That is the purpose of dhyana. To focus on the form of the Lord, to focus on the leelas of the Lord, to focus on the holy name of the Lord. So Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Dham, Ityadi. So focusing on those things, that is dhyana. So what we do is mantra meditation. Right? We do chanting, that is also dhyana. So our mind should be kind of focused on that. So that is mantra meditation, focusing on the holy name. So we speak the holy name and try to hear the holy name, focus on the sound vibration. So we are meditating on the name of the Lord. Okay? Kalyug keval naam adhar, simru simru utre narpar. Harer naam, harer naam, harer naam, eva kevalam. Okay, everybody say. Harer naam. With action. Harer naam, harer naam, harer naam, eva kevalam. Kalau, nasti, 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 gatir, anyatha. Okay? So then can anybody say that? Harer naam, harer naam, harer naam, eva kevalam. Kalau nasti, 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 gatir, anyatha. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way in Kali Yuga to attain the Supreme Lord than the chanting of holy name, the chanting of holy name, the chanting of holy name. So we do mantra meditation, focusing on the sound vibration, focusing on the name of the Lord. So Kardama Muni performed austerity, he did dhyana, he focused on the form of the Lord. He was doing like Manas Puja. So what is the meaning of worship through devotional service in trance? Samadhi mein, right? He is sitting in Samadhi, and in Samadhi he is worshipping the Supreme Lord. What does that mean? It's like Manas Puja. Mentally he is serving the Supreme Lord. He is meditating on the form of the Lord, and in the meditation he is offering everything. Like we do physically, offering the incense, lamp, Navedya and everything. So he is doing that Manas Puja in one sense. That's what it means. And the Supreme Lord, who is the bestower of all the blessings on his devotee, he immediately appears for the protection of the devotees. So in Satya Yuga, the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, being pleased with the austerities of Kardama Muni, he showed his personal form. He showed himself to Kardama Muni and displayed his transcendental form, which can be understood only through the Vedas. So after being pleased by the austerities of Kardama Muni, Lord personally appeared in front of him. Just imagine, you chant the holy name, and as you are chanting the holy name, Lord personally comes, appears in front of you. How will you feel? Blessed? So Lord appeared in front of him, and here it describes the form of the Lord. So it's not just imagination. It's not somebody's imagination how the Lord looks like. Lord's form is described many places in the scriptures, right? Many Puranas. So here the form of the Lord is described in the next 3 verses. It talks about the vision of the Supreme Lord. Again, it's not by his own imagination. Lord has all these multiple various forms, and he can appear in any of the form based on the attraction of the particular devotee. Somebody has attachment to the form of Lord Ramachandra. He wants to see the Lord in that form. Somebody is attached to in the form of Krishna. He wants to see the Lord in that Shyamasundar form. Somebody is attracted to the form of Lord Vishnu. Somebody is attracted to the form of Narsinghadev. So Lord has all these various forms, and he reveals his form as per the desire of that particular devotee. So here Lord appeared in front of Kardama Muni in the form of 4-handed Vishnu form. So Lord is standing in front of Kardama Muni with 4 hands holding the Shankh, Chakra, Gada and a lily. Here it's not says lotus. Generally we say Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padam. Here it describes Shankh, Chakra, Gada and a lily, a water lily. So he is holding these 4 things in 4 hands. He is wearing a crown. He is wearing the earrings. He is wearing the garland. He is wearing the yellow garments. And then there is a Kastuba jewel on his neck and a Shrivatsa mark. Lord has a line, a streak on his chest, which represents who? Lakshmi Devi. Okay, so that is Shrivatsa line. So the form of Lord is described like that, and he is standing in the air with his feet resting on the neck of Garuda. So he is standing basically on Garuda. So in that way Lord appeared in front of Kardama Muni. So his clear vision, his form is described very clearly here, how the Lord appears, how the Lord looks like. So when we see different paintings, different pictures of the Lord, it's not by somebody's imagination. Yes, people take a little creative liberty to show the form in particular way or to paint the form with different colors and all. But it's not purely imagination. It is as per how it is described in scriptures. Somebody may make little changes here and there as their creative liberty to show in a particular way, but overall the form of Lord is described. So Lord appeared in front of him, and then Kardama Muni, as he saw the Lord standing in front of him, Kardama Muni paid full Dandvat Pranam in front of the Lord. He fell down on the ground like a rod, paying obeisances to the Lord. Means when we stand in front of the Lord, when we go to the temple, how we should pay obeisances to the Lord. So I was maybe talking one time how people greet each other these days. Right? How people greet each other these days. Earlier we used to bow down in front of our elders. Right? Touch their feet. Completely go up to the feet and touch the feet, and both feet actually one by one. Now people will bow down maybe up to knees. Just touch the knees. They don't go up to the feet, just up to knees. And then even beyond that, people will just stand and fold hands. Right? Namaste. Dur se namaste. And now the namaste is also gone. Now it's shake hand from far away. Hi.
COVID restriction.
So in COVID restriction, that's good. Actually, it showed the whole world to at least do namaskar. So, but when we are in front of the Lord, we should pay full Dandavat Pranam on the floor in front of the Lord. And even with the devotees, actually the culture, the system is when we meet the devotees, we should greet each other by offering pranam. Or at least the senior devotees, sannyasis or other senior devotees, our mentors, our gurus, we should pay Dandavat Pranam. So, greeting the devotees, greeting the Lord. Here Kardama Muni, he paid full obeisances in front of the Lord and he started offering prayers to the Lord. Now he is offering the prayers. Remember the prayers, when we offer the prayers, I told there are 3 aspects of offering prayers. Anybody remembers? What are the 3 aspects of offering prayer? What should be the 3 elements in a prayer?
Devotional to lotus feet.
No, devotion to, no, not what we want to ask from the Lord. In a prayer, there are 3 elements.
Surrender, Shraddha, those elements.
No. Okay, let me remind everybody. When we pray to the Lord, one element is being grateful to the Lord. Being thankful. First, offering the thanks. Whatever you have given to me already, I am grateful to you for that. So that is one element of the prayer. Generally, our prayer has only one element. What is that one element in our prayers? Benediction. Give me this, give me this, give me this. Just asking. Right? So one element in our prayers is just asking for benediction. But generally it says in prayer there are 3 elements. One is first being grateful. Doing thanks to the Lord. Okay, I am very thankful for these things you have given to me. I am very thankful to you. Second element of prayer is glorification. Glorify the Lord, that you are so wonderful, you are so great. So grateful, glorify. And the third one, if we really want, we can ask for something also from the Lord, which is even not needed, because Lord knows what is best for us, what is needed for us. He already knows. As a loving father, like you will know what is need of your child, what is need of your son, your daughter, and you will give them without their asking. Right? You know what is good for them, you will give them. So the Supreme Lord, He knows what is best for us, what is needed for us. He is providing us. We don't need to ask. Still, if we really want to ask, we can ask the Lord. But we should know what to ask and how to ask from the Lord. So here Kardama Muni, so you open Bhagavatam, read the prayer of anybody in Bhagavatam. Okay, be it the prayer of Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Kardama Muni, Brahmaji, Kunti Maharani, Bhishma Pitama, anybody, you read the prayer of any devotee, these 3 elements you will find. Grateful, glorification, and then asking for something. So here, Kardama Muni, he is first being very grateful to the Lord. You have appeared before me, I am very grateful to you. Yogis do meditation for multiple lifetimes actually. Right? They cannot attain you in one lifetime. They continue for multiple lifetime to attain you. But you appeared in front of me out of this small period of austerity. So I am very grateful to you. And then he says some foolish people, they approach you just to ask for some trivial gains, trivial things like some sense gratification. Give me my bread and butter. Give me roti kapda makan. Right? People ask for these basic things of sense gratification. So they are actually foolish people. Because anyways the people rotting in the hell also can get these basic things. So what is the big deal in that? So people generally ask for these trivial things and they are foolish people, but you are so kind that you bestow your mercy even on those foolish people also. Even somebody is asking for some small things, you give them those also. Okay, you want this only, take this. Somebody says, oh please give me a good son, give me a good job, give me a promotion in my job. People approach the Lord for these small things. In one sense, Kardama Muni is saying they are foolish. but you are so merciful, you award them those also. So he is being grateful to the Lord, and then he is glorifying the Lord, that you create this whole world, you create this whole, all these universes, not just create, you maintain them also, and then with your will you wind up all that in your belly. You are yourself with your various energies, you are creating, maintaining and annihilating everything. Like a spider, a cobweb, he creates the web with his own energy and then he winds it up also. Right? Spider, what is a spider? Will, through his saliva and all, he will create that web, and the spider can again remove that also. He can wind up that also. So like that he is saying, you create by your own will, you maintain it, and then you wind up everything. Without anybody's help, you are creating all these creations, all these universes. And then, so grateful, glorification, and then he is asking for the benediction. So what is the benediction? What was the purpose of his performing these austerities? He wanted to get a suitable wife, with the instruction of Brahma to generate progeny. So now he is asking, as you grant benediction to everybody, I also have a desire to fulfill. I am looking for a suitable girl of like disposition to marry. I know it's a wrong desire, durashaya. Just now, Kardama Muni told that foolish people ask for some small trivial things, of worldly things, worldly gains. And now he himself is asking, hey, please arrange for some suitable girl of like disposition. So why? Just now you criticized other people, and now you yourself are asking. So first of all, he is asking on the instructions of Brahma. His father had instructed him to help him in this task. So that is one reason. Another is, Kardama Muni is saying that somebody who is not actually disgusted with this material enjoyment, in his mind the desire for liberation does not come. Once they have enjoyed, they have been distasteful to the material enjoyment, then actual detachment comes, then actual renunciation comes. But now we have to understand that point very deeply, actually, very clearly. It's not that just keep enjoying, one day you will become distasteful to that, disgusted to that, and then your desire for liberation will awaken up. Just material distasteful, disgust does not lead to liberation. See, Bhagavatam definition of liberation is when our desire to serve the Supreme Lord awakens, equipped with knowledge and detachment. That is the state of liberation. But if somebody just become detached to material enjoyment, that does not mean he has become attached to serving the Supreme Lord. Understanding the point? No? See, one thing is to become disgusted with material enjoyment. That, oh, I have tried a lot to enjoy this material world. I'm disgusted with that. I'm frustrated with that. There is no happiness. So I have seen that. So you got that experience. So you become distasteful to material enjoyment. That is one thing. But does it mean automatically you will develop attachment to serving the Supreme Lord? No. Right? So the liberation means when somebody develops the desire to serve the Supreme Lord with knowledge and renunciation. That comes only when somebody is regularly in association of devotees, somebody is practicing the process of bhakti. With bhakti, naturally the knowledge and renunciation will awaken. Because bhakti will bring jnana and vairagya. So somebody living in a householder life on a regular basis practicing the principles of bhakti while living a regulated life, he will develop that knowledge and renunciation and attachment to the Supreme Lord. So Kardama Muni is saying, and that's why I am asking for this girl of equal disposition. Now what is the meaning of this like disposition? So this like disposition is very important. Earlier, even 20, 30 years back also, right? All of us, most of us maybe have experienced, have seen, even to date also, mostly many people in India, they are still following that practice that they will match the horoscope of the boy and girl to see if there is a proper match. So, Karunakar Prabhu, what was in your scenario recently? Was it a match of horoscope? See, so that practice is being followed currently also, right? So people, the elderly in the family, they want to see the girl and boy are suitable to each other from psychophysical nature. So their psychology matches. So in that way, they can live in harmony with each other. So that's why it was important to have that match done. Nowadays, what is the system trending to? What is the trend going on? It's either they look chamadi or damadi. You know what is the meaning? So either they're looking for a handsome boy and beautiful girl, right? External features. और ये देखने में लड़का स्मार्ट लग रहा है, लड़की देखने में सुंदर लग रही है. So they either look chamadi or they look damadi, means the family is well to do, rich family. बहुत पैसा आएगा. So that is a trend going on these days. Either people want external beauty to fulfill their sense enjoyment or to gain some wealth. Sometimes the relationship happen out of political reason also, right? To gain some power, like getting a marriage done for getting some alliances. Even at the time of Mahabharata, these things used to also happen, right? Some marriages will happen just to develop alliances. So those were different reasons. But for a girl and a boy to live in harmony with each other in marriage relationship, that's why this match is done by a horoscope. That is called to find a girl or boy of like disposition. These days, boy and girl, they don't want to listen to their elderly. They don't want to listen to their parents' advice. More trend is love affairs, love marriages. Right? They just meet, कॉलेज में मिले, कैंटीन में बैठ के चाय पकौड़ी खाया, एक दूसरे से प्यार हुआ. प्यार in the sense external attraction. And then they think, oh, we cannot live without each other. After a couple of years, they say, we cannot live with each other. So they fall in love, they have that external attraction, and then when their parents are not supportive or they are not agreeing to their proposal, they want to run away from the houses. Right? Flee from the houses. And the Bollywood has contributed maximum to that actually. Even the Britisher could not destroy the Vedic culture, Sanatan culture. The Mughals could not destroy the Sanatan culture. The Bollywood has done that in last 50 years. Spoiled that Vedic culture, the Sanatan Dharma. Because it has destroyed the moral values. It has destroyed those principles. In 70s, one movie came, Julie. Right? That is the one from where so many girls and boys, they started running from houses. घर से भाग के शादी कर लेंगे. So that trend started that, oh, we want to just have a love marriage, just run away from houses. We don't need permission from the parents, father or mother. And even when they are your well-wisher, right? They have seen the world, they have experienced, so they know by their experiences also. But problem is, we don't want to listen to elders because we think we are independent. We know what is the current world, current trend. And children think their parents they are from old age, some Adi Baba ke zamane ke. Right? They don't know how the world runs today. They are not up to date with the technology, up to date with the world scenarios. So many things, so much of degradation has happened in the values. Even then out of caste marriage or out of religion marriages, the people or the parents will tell this is not right for you, but still they don't want to listen. I will tell you one antidote or anecdote to that. Once we call fish, right? A young fish. She is just roaming around in the waters. And in the water there is a bagula. What do you call bagula?
Crane.
Crane. So a crane is standing there in the water, and sometime the crane will pick one leg up. Why? Why does the crane pick one leg up? Because if both legs are down, the fish understand there is some other animal there. He is ready to hunt us. So the bagula will pick one leg up to show, to represent this maybe some a stick or some plant or something there. It's not a other creature, other animal. So the small young fish is roaming around in the waters, and her parents warned the fish, don't go to this bakdul. This bakdul is very dangerous. He is just looking for the opportunity to catch the fish, to swallow the fish. So the fish was very careful in the beginning. She will go around and saw this crane was standing, and she will not go nearby. And this crane is trying to trick that fish. So earlier he will not do anything. So the fish slowly started going close by. Let me see. He is not doing anything. He is a nice guy. This Bakdul is very nice guy. So she started going more closer, and this Bakdul, this crane, so he is starting little playing with the fish also, not doing any harm to that. And this fish became more open, more comfortable. Oh, this is a nice guy. My parents, they don't know. They don't. They are unnecessarily criticizing this Bakdul. He is a nice guy. So the fish started going more and more closer. And one day what happened? This crane showed his real intention. As the fish came there, he just picked up and swallowed that fish. Do you understand the story? In what context I am telling this story?
Yes.
Right? The girl think, oh, my Bakdul or my Abdul, he is very nice guy. He is not dangerous. He is not harmful, and develops a friendship relationship with that and all. And then one day this Bakdul kills that girl. A recent history, recent trend in India, right? Shraddha ke 35 tukde.
Not only Shraddha, many cases.
Many cases. There are so many cases like that. So the point here, our philosophy or our culture is so deep rooted actually. There are so many things, so many lessons to learn. All these narrations, these pastimes here, there is some reason behind everything. There is some science behind everything. It's not just out of sentiment. Our parents are not telling you that follow this system out of some particular sentiment. There is a reasoning behind that. There is a particular science behind that. So finding a girl of equal disposition, now people don't believe in this horoscope. अरे ये कुंडली मिलाना, ये सब करना, ये सब पुराने जमाने की बातें हैं. आज कौन करता है, आजकल कौन करता है. People will give that type of reason. अरे आजकल कौन करता है. साइंस ने इतना तरक्की कर लिया, हम लोग चंद्रमा तक पहुंच गए, आप लोग अभी तक इन्हीं चीजों में अटके हुए हैं. Right? You are still stuck in these things. People will give this type of arguments. But then what happened? People get into a relationship, and then after a few years, 2 years, 3 years, what happened? All the problems start to come. Divorce rate is at the max. Right? Why? And on the verse now, the new trend is live-in relationship. हम पहले साथ रह के देखेंगे if we are matched for each other or not.
It's in Delhi.
Right? Everywhere, like in India, it's becoming, that was the culture in West earlier. I will tell you, people will take pride in telling these kind of things actually. My boss was telling me 2 days back that my son bought a house, he is moving in with his girlfriend. People will mention like that, जैसे बहुत बड़ा कोई तीर मार लिया, बहुत बड़ा बहादुरी का काम कर लिया. It's such a big glory. So people have this live-in relationship in Western world. Now in India also people want to follow to the Western culture. And then after some time, they just separate. Oh, I don't think we are suitable for each other, or our...
Murder happens in India.
our nature matches or we cannot satisfy each other, so let's find somebody else. एक से दूसरा, दूसरे से तीसरा, तीसरे से चौथा, और कभी कभी घूम के पहले पर वापस भी आ जाते हैं. I did not find anybody better, so let me try to go back to the first one. So such a corruption in society is there in terms of thinking process, in terms of values. So why finding a girl of like disposition is important? So we can live in harmony with each other, and then to beget children, the system of performing austerities first. To purify your consciousness, to attract a suitable soul into your family. So that is the overall system here. And then it mentions actually if somebody finds a suitable wife that can fulfill all the purpose of life. Arth, dharma, arth, kam. Right? We say there are char purusharth, dharma, arth, kam, moksha. So if wife is good, she helps in all these matters, because she helps in economic development, she helps in fulfilling the desires, she helps in fulfilling the purpose of the spiritual progress. She helps in spiritual progress. So it says actually, Prabhupada writes in the purport, if one has a nice wife, he is to be considered a most fortunate man. Okay, if somebody has a nice wife, he is considered most fortunate man. Both ways, applies to girls also. If she has a nice husband, she is the most fortunate woman. Why? Because in astrology, it says a man is considered fortunate if he has great wealth, a good son, or a good wife. So if one of these three things is there, he is considered fortunate. But if somebody has good wife, he is considered most fortunate. Because if wife is good, all other things will come automatically. Okay, so respect to your wife. Give them due honor. So Kardama Muni performed austerities. What was the purpose of his performing austerity? To get a suitable wife. Even though he criticized that people please the Supreme Lord and then ask for some trivial benefit, then he himself is also asking for some material benefit only. The general example is described what happens in our scenario. Kardama Muni is a great sage. He is attached to the Supreme Lord. He is doing it for the purpose of satisfying his father, right? His father's instruction. It's not that he is desire to have a material enjoyment. But in our case, what happens? We also do something. We serve the Supreme Lord. We engage in some religious practice, some spiritual practice. And then we want to ask for some material benefit. There are so many examples. Actually, some people, they engage in service. For so many years, they did very nice service. Very wonderful service. And then one day, what they ask from the Supreme Lord, please help me get a job. A small job, something. I want to utilize my whatever degree I had, because I got some degree in computer science or something. So I also want to work. So they get that type of desires. This is like asking for some mundane thing, small thing. Lord has come in front of you. He is standing in front of you, and you ask the Lord for this small thing. Once a woman went to the forest, old lady. She has no other person to support her. So she will go to the forest, collect some dry woods, make the pile of dry woods and bring back and sell that dry wood to earn her livelihood. So one day she went to the forest, piled up the dry wood, the stick of woods, and was carrying on her head. As she was walking back, her feet stuck in something and she kind of fell down. The whole pile of wood fell down. And it was very difficult for her to pick up that pile of wood and put it back on her, and she is calling out to the Lord, oh my Lord, please help me, please help me. She is calling out to the Lord, and Lord came in front of her. Lord is standing in front of her. Now when Lord is standing in front of you, what will you ask? अगर भगवान आपके सामने आकर खड़े हो जाएं तो आप भगवान से क्या मांगोगे? What will you ask from the Supreme Lord?
Liberation.
Take to spiritual.
Please take me back with you. Right? What did she ask? भगवान ने बोला बताओ क्या चाहिए? Ask me whatever you want. Anything you want. She could have asked anything, that I don't have to come and collect the wood, give me wealth and all that, or take me back. She asked, कृपा करके ये जो लकड़ियां गिर गई हैं उसको उठा के मेरे सर पे वापस रख दो. Just please help me pick it back and put it back on my head. Let me carry this bundle of woods again. So that is our situation also. We ask some these small trivia. मेरी एक छोटी सी नौकरी लगा हुआ, मैंने बहुत साल तुम्हारी सेवा कर ली. I have served you so much all these years. Now please give me this little bit thing. And they divert away from the process of bhakti. Right? They cut down their services, they cut down their thing, and just again engage in those little bit small material things, material activities. So we should know what to ask from the Supreme Lord. Asking the Supreme Lord, I have served you today, I was able to come to the program today, please help me, I can do it again. Once again. This week I attended program, please allow me to attend one more time. I came to temple this week, please allow me to come once again. I chanted your holy name today, please allow me to chant again tomorrow. So if we pray like that, that is the real prayer, that is to please the Supreme Lord. So Kardama Muni could have, Prabhupada right here, Kardama Muni could have worshipped the Gauri also. Okay. Because in the scripture it is recommended, if somebody want to get a suitable wife or a girl want to find a suitable husband, they worship Gauri, Durga, Parvati. But Kardama Muni, he did not approach Durga, Gauri, but he is worshipping the Supreme Lord. Why? Because approaching the Supreme Lord for any desires, it's better than approaching somebody else. Even if somebody has material desire, because nobody is pure devotee, so approaching the Supreme Lord just for material desire also, if somebody has, that's also okay, because Lord will first purify that devotee and then grant his desires, his wishes also. That's why in Bhagavatam, in 2nd canto, there is a very beautiful shlok. It says, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajet purusham param. Akam, if somebody is free from desire, Akam sarva kamo va. Either somebody is free from any desire or filled with all material desires. Or somebody desires liberation. Moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena Yayet Purusham Param. So in all situations, one should approach the Supreme Lord and serve him nicely in devotional service. Engage in the devotional service. And Lord also says the 4 type of devotee, they start to approach me. Chaturvidha bhajante mam, jano sukritino arjuna. What are the 4 type of devotee who approach the Supreme Lord?
Inquisitor.
Arto jigyasir artharthi bhakti jnani cha bharat rashva. So these 4 type of people start approaching. One who is desirous of some material gain. Arati. Arati means somebody who is in distress. किसी को कुछ problem है तो उसके लिए भगवान को approach किया. Artharthi means somebody's desire of some material gain. I want a good wife, I want a good son, I want a good job, I want a nice house, this, that. So all these are material desires. Arati means somebody is in trouble, life is at danger, somebody's got some disease. And then Jigyasur, somebody is inquisitive, I want to understand the Supreme Lord. Somebody is Jnani, who is really in knowledge. Yet the Supreme Lord, he is the source of everything and I want to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So all these 4 type of people, they start to approach. Out of them, Jnani is best because he is in knowledge. He wants to approach the Supreme Lord in knowledge that he is my master, my shelter. I have no other shelter. Jaun kahan taji charan tumhare. Where can I go? Leaving your chरण, leaving your lotus feet. Where else I can take shelter? So in that way, so Kardama Muni approached the Supreme Lord even though he had a desire to get a suitable wife. And then Lord told him that I know what is your desire. right? You want to get a suitable wife, I have already arranged for that. Soon Swayambhu Manu will come. He has a daughter who is of marriageable age. Her name is Devahuti. She is of equal disposition. She is also kind of equipped with this eightfold yoga practice. She will serve you nicely and she will fulfill all your desires. So the Lord granted that. And then after that, Lord disappeared from there, blessing Kardama Muni. Now Kardama Muni is standing there watching the Supreme Lord disappear from there. And at that time he just stayed there because Lord told day after tomorrow. He told the time and day also when Swayambhu Manu will approach there. So day after tomorrow, Swayambhu Manu will approach here at Bindu Sarovar with his daughter. So Kardama Muni waited there as for the time which was told by the Lord. And then as per that time, Swayambhu Manu, riding on his chariot along with his wife Satarupa and daughter Devahuti, he approached there. And as Swayambhu Manu approached this Bindu Sarovar, Kardama Muni was sitting in his ashram doing his yagya, his homa. He had just finished his yagya. And the way Swayambhu Manu saw this Kardama Muni, what is the appearance of Kardama Muni? He is tall, he has matted hair, he has very large eyes like the petals of lotus flower. And because he is performing this yagya, his body appears soiled. There is dhul rakh pada hua body ke upar, all the ashes and all that there. So his body appears soiled. So in that way, Swayambhu Manu saw Kardama Muni like an unpolished gem. Like a gem is there, but it's not polished. So Kardama Muni appeared like that. So Swayambhu Manu approached Kardama Muni, and then Kardama Muni received Swayambhu Manu, they greeted each other because Swayambhu Manu has come as a guest in his ashram. So Kardama Muni received him and asked him, is everything alright? That he started glorifying Swayambhu Manu because Swayambhu Manu is the king, right? And he is telling that as a king, you are taking care of this whole planet nicely, you are ruling over it nicely because you ride on your chariot and you go on gaining victory all around and you curb all the thieves and rogues. That's why there is peace in society. If the monarch, they do not take control, they do not take care of the society, then the rogues and thieves will increase and it will become disturbance for everybody. So you are doing a wonderful job. You are controlling everybody, you are ruling over your kingdom nicely. And please tell me, what is the reason of your coming here? So how can I serve you? How can I help you in whatever is the purpose of your coming here? So now Swayambhu Manu is going to start talking, describing what is the purpose of his coming here, giving his daughter Devahuti in charity to Kardama Muni. So just consider, just imagine. Devahuti, she is the daughter of a king. And Kardama Muni, he is a sage living in an ashram. He has no possessions, anything. So a princess, a Rajkumari, she is getting married with a sage. And she is ready to leave everything, all the opulences of her palace, and stay in a small hermit and serve this Brahmana, serve this sage. So in the coming chapters we'll read how Devahuti served Kardama without any consideration of anything, without asking for anything. That give me nice clothes, nice jewelry, nice ornaments, nice house, nice furniture, nice car, this, that. She's serving very nicely her husband. And how Kardama Muni, when he saw this gentle behavior of Devahuti, how later on he gave everything. Out of his mystic power, he created a palace, kind of as a Viman, who could fly all around, and it has so many palaces on that Viman. So we'll read about all these descriptions and then how Kapila Dev is born and the teachings of Kapila Dev in the coming chapters. So Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Thank you very much. If anybody has any question, any comment, please feel free.
Prabhu, so we started Dhritarashtra is asking these questions, right?
Who?
Dhritarashtra.
No. This is Vidura.
Vidur.
Vidura is asking to,
Maitre Rishi.
or maybe you are mixing two different things.
First you started with Dhritarashtra asking someone else about the battlefield and
So
stuff.
that's what I'm saying. You are mixing two things.
that is a-
So you are
other
talking
class.
about the Tuesday class.
Okay.
That is Bhagavad Gita. We are speaking about Bhagavad Gita class. Right? That is Dhritarashtra asking Sanjay what my sons and the sons of Pandu do at the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Okay.
So that is we are talking about Bhagavad Gita. Here in Friday class we are talking about Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Okay, so two different topics. Even though the topic is connected because it starts from after Mahabharata only Bhagavatam starts.
But on the practical side, also arranged marriages also break up these days. So parents, they don't know if people come, parents, they don't want to take the risk because both the marriages don't work sometimes. So they don't even go to advice, they just...
So Skanda Prabhu's question is even the arranged marriage fall, right? They fail. And that's why sometimes the boy and girl have more this kind of feeling that if we know each other already better, then to get into a marriage relationship is better from that point of view rather than completely getting to unknown person. So actually speaking, just arranged marriage is not just that, okay, some unknown person you find and marry that person. There is also inquiry there. They will have a third party involved in that earlier, right? They will always have mediator earlier who will tell them about the family lineage, family background, about the history of the boy or the history of the girl. So he will become as a mediator and then the arrangement is done. So one aspect is to know the family background from both sides, and then the second aspect is to have the horoscope match. Horoscope match is because they will align the horoscope of both boy and girl and see if their qualities match, right? If their psychophysical nature matches.
Correct.
So more the qualities matches, it is understood that they have a better relationship for long term. So we know, right? Even up to 40-50 years back, the relationship, the marriage lasts forever, right? People will just live together in harmony even up to the death of people, a death of husband or wife. Nowadays there are quarrels because the values have changed, the motives have changed, the more focus is on external beauty and money. So that's why arranged marriages also does not last because of this greed coming in or the lust coming in, right? Not having a satisfaction with each other. But still, if you do the survey, actually there was a recent survey also done. The survey is asking the girls, will you like to marry a boy of your own choice? Like if you were given the choice, find a boy whom you like, marry that way, or somebody find a suitable boy, if the parents find a suitable boy for you. So still the survey will indicate toward that arranged marriages are much better than these love marriages.
I'm speaking from the point of view of parents, right? Here you're a parent,
Mhm.
your daughter or your son comes and says, I found my partner. How do you advise them? Because what they sometimes, a lot of these parents these days, what they think is, let's not really get into it because...
Again, yeah, that is the Western culture. Even the Indian families in Western world now, right, if they talk about arranged marriage to their children, they laugh at that. We are not in India, we are in America. Don't tell us that you are going to do arranged marriage for us. We will find our own partner. Right? People will speak like that. Because the culture is like that. The whole culture shift has happened. And where the divorce rate is maximum?
Now in India also.
Now in India also there, because they are following the Western culture.
Correct.
But earlier we see, even in 80s, right, in Western culture, in America, what was the divorce rate?
Yeah, it was higher.
It's much higher. And now it has gone up to 60-70%. Right? The divorce rate is really, in America, it's up to 60-70%. So in India, if you see, it's still much, much less than that.
But it's going to get there.
Because people are following to that trend only, that rat race of Western culture. Right? All that
So,
love marriages and live-in relationships and all that. So here, there also it's picking up.
So that's why when children are growing, you need to show them the value, right? So they're not attached to those things like you said.
Right? That's why giving the knowledge, giving this spiritual values from the early on is important. Giving them that culture. That's why we say, right, you teach dharma to your children, otherwise somebody is ready to teach them adharma. If we don't teach them dharma, somebody will teach them adharma. What are they teaching? What they are learning outside is only going to be adharma. That's why connecting the children with these spiritual values is much more important now. So connecting them with this type of program, connecting them with the temple, where they can actually learn these spiritual values, that's very important. But we are so busy teaching them math and science and the science Olympiad and robotics and all that, we don't care about their spiritual education. If we find time, then we will come. But these all things are important, because if they don't learn these things, oh, they will suffer in their career. But did we do all these things actually when we were growing up? How many science Olympiads and robotics and all that we had? Still we are doing good, right? Are we suffering? Are we... So we are able to maintain ourselves, we are able to survive, but we think they will not be able to survive if they don't do all these things. But they will survive if they don't have spiritual education. That's a complete wrong understanding. They can survive without all these, but going forward they cannot survive with this spiritual education.
So then basically the parents fail.
Right? Because we are failing our children also. So if we have to skip those things, better to skip those, but not to skip these education. Okay, anything else? So today there was gravity. Today there's so much of kind of a heaviness also sometimes in the topic. Okay, but it's good because we have to hear that. Right, what is the real austerity? What are all these real values? We need to hear that and we need to imbibe those. Okay, so thank you very much again. Grantraj Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.